doing is actually connecting into the EC2 instance that we previously got up and running, and we'll be using SSH to do that. So last time when I left you, hopefully you had something like your instance, and if you just waited for a minute, it would be up and running. So we can just click on this instance ID and we can get some more information about it. And you can see here there's a button called Connect. And we are going to be using an SSH client to actually connect to it. So before we can get going, we need this key that I was talking about. So if we go back to our lab section and we click on AWS details, this sidebar will show up and we need to download the PEM. We just click that button and notice it downloads this labuser.pem. So we're going to be using that. The next piece of software we need is some kind of way to SSH into our terminal. To keep things simple, we're going to be using this Chrome extension. There are many different SSH tools that you could use. Windows has terminal, Mac has a built-in terminal. If you're on Linux, you could use that. But just for consistency, we're going to be doing it inside our Chrome browser. So we're just going to click on this extension, and we're going to add it to our Chrome browser. It should pop up right here. And I'm just going to turn on syncing. So if you click on the little extensions icon, you should see Secure Shell, and you can pin it because you will want this pinned. You'll be using this continuously. So if you select here, we're going to make a connection dialog, and this little window will pop open. So we're going to create a new connection, and we need to give our connection a name. So I'm just going to call it ICS for you. We need to give our connection a user when we log in. Who is the user going to be? And if we just go back, the user that we're going to be, we just go to EC2 Connect, you can see is Ubuntu. So that will be what we're going to be putting in. So up here, we're going to put in Ubuntu, and the host name is the IP address or the Amazon URL of our particular instance. So you can go back to SSH client, or you can just grab it right here. In SSH client, you'll notice you can use this one as well. Both will completely work. So I'm just going to put the IP address in. You could put in port 22, but by default it'll just go to port 22 anyways. And the last thing we need is that key pair imported. So we're going to select that, and we downloaded it, and there it is right there, and we're going to add it in. So we have name, we have the user login that we're going to be using, we have the IP address of the machine we're going to be connecting to, and we have the key to let us in. Now we can just click enter. Now, two things will happen. It will ask you for permission, so you should click yes. The very first time, it will ask you if you really want to continue, and you should type in yes here as well. Just take a second, and there we go. We are now connected into our Amazon EC2 instance using the Chrome extension of SSH.